Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in today. It is ModelcarNick, and I have a kind of interesting model for you guys today. This is the Porsche 911 GT1, and it's kind of finished in this Marlboro livery, as you can see, and it's really sick. So this is manufactured by Werk83, and I've actually never had one of these models before, so I wanted to give it a try out, and just from what I can tell right now, this is an absolutely stunning model car. I paid, I believe, $50 for this, which I thought was an incredible deal. I'm not exactly too sure on what they're going for today. I would imagine they're probably in the 70 to 60-ish plus dollar range. But honestly, this so far, from what I can tell, I haven't opened it yet. So you guys are going to be getting my initial reactions to this model as we go along it together. So let me just show you around the box real quick because there is kind of some cool details. So you get the, what exactly the model is, and then you get this really beautiful box artwork on the back. I don't think you get these details kind of on the newer model car boxes I'm seeing. Like most of them are pretty plain, but I think this is pretty special to have a real life picture of the model on the back of the box, and that photo looks absolutely incredible. So this is definitely a box worth keeping, and as you can see, it just looks really nice. So let me go ahead and get this thing opened, and I'll show you the model in more detail. All right, so now that we got this model out of the box, I can kind of show you some of the details and features, and I'll give you my overall opinions on this car at the end of the video. So first of all, we'll just start off with the model itself. Obviously, it's got this livery on it that looks really nice. It's finished in gold and silver wheels, and then we have a black, actually just one red bucket seat, I guess. It's pretty stripped out interior in there, I'm noticing. So I'm actually not too sure if this model is an opening model or not. It very well could be, so I'll try to figure that out along as we go. But starting off with the front of the model, we'll take a look at the headlights first. So they're pretty standard headlights, nothing really too crazy going on up there, but they present pretty nicely. They kind of have like a little design inside of it, or just printed onto the glass itself. So they look pretty accurate, I would say, to the real car. Moving down here, we have a kind of a matte black plastic front splitter with the Michelin writing on the front. And then down here, we kind of have some grills and a tow hook. Obviously, I don't think any of this is real mesh. It's just kind of the plastic to look like mesh. So, it looks fairly decent, I would say. It stands out, and I don't really have any complaints with it just because of the price I paid for it. But moving on to the hood, there's kind of an intake vent right there that just has black plastic in it, and then there's some hood vents up top. So moving on to the side of the car, also I forgot to mention there's little hood pins to keep the hood down on this model. But I don't think the hood opens. It looks like it doesn't, but I'll mess around with it later and show you if there's any opening parts towards the end of the video. So moving on to the side, we have the Michelin Man standing right there, which looks pretty cool. Some more logos up here, and just really interesting mirror designs, as you can see. They're kind of untraditional. They sit on the hood, and they look really cool, honestly. No real complaints on those. I think the wheels are a pretty big selling point on this model. I think just the color combination, this looks absolutely insane. So I think they did a good job with the wheels. As you can see, they are center lock wheels, and it looks like they didn't do a great job with the brake calipers or rotors. They're just pretty standard. They're not painted or anything. But for the price, again, I'm gonna keep pressing on that point. I think that's not really a huge miss on their part for me. But coming on to the doors, some more writing, Mobile One logo, and the drivers of the car. Yeah, but the door looks pretty good. Like I said, I'm not too sure if it opens. I don't think it does. I'm almost certain this is a fully sealed model, it looks like. But, they did a pretty good job with the lines, I think, and it looks fairly decent. Coming on to this angle, I'm actually not too familiar with the real car, so I would assume on the real car this would be a functioning vent up here, but I could be totally wrong. So if you guys know a little bit more about this car, let me know. Should that be a real vent, or did they get that detail right? But moving on to the rear, there is another air intake vent right here, and they kind of have this interesting design on the back window that I think they looks pretty decent. More logos on the rear arch right here, and this car just the rear arches stick out really wide, so it's interesting design. The side skirt itself kind of comes down at an angle, but no real kind of secondary side skirt, which is fine. The rear wheels are pretty much the same as the front, but I forgot to mention that there is obviously writing. We got the Michelin logo on the side of the tire, so that looks really cool. On the back, we got a nice Jolly Motor logo that comes across really nicely. I think just all the prints on this model, they're nice and crisp, and you can like obviously read the words really good. It looks really nice, and they did a good job with the execution of that. More logos on the rear wing, but that is the only one. It's kind of blank on the top. But the spokes that hold the wing up itself, they're kind of a gloss black plastic, and it looks just fine. No real problems with that. Obviously, though, this could be better, but I think just for the price, this is a really nice looking model. But coming towards the rear of the car, obviously you got the tail lights and everything. I'm not too sure what this does, but it's kind of just a piece of plastic with some like yellow tint on it. I'm not too sure if that should be like mesh grills or something like that, but it is there. Dual tipped exhaust that are kind of in this chrome finish, and let's see if we can see any more details in there. So you can kind of see maybe some of the suspension components, but really nothing to see back here at all. No engine details to note, but you can see through to the tires back here, which is kind of interesting. It actually goes all the way through. They didn't just cover it up with plastic, as you can see. So that is kind of a nice little feature, but you know, a pretty standard model. On the top of it, I forgot to mention as well, there's a little antenna, and then there's a massive air intake hood roof scoop on the top. But honestly, just this is a really nice looking model. I think the base plate is pretty cool. It's just a little bit different than what I've seen in the past. So I think, you know, again, for 50 bucks, or that's really not a bad deal for this model. I know they made a bunch of different liveries, so there's a lot of options to choose from. I think Maisto produced this model as well. Could be totally wrong, but I think I remember seeing a Maisto version, and I'm sure there's other few manufacturers that have produced this model in the past. But you know, as a new model, this one looks super clean. All the branding logos are super crisp, and I think this is totally worth it. You know, I don't know if I would spend $100 on this model because I'm not the biggest GT1 fan. I mean, having one now, obviously, I'm quickly growing to appreciate this car more than I have previously, just because I didn't know much about it. But this is just a really nice introduction to my collection with the GT1, and I'm very happy to add it to the collection. And so, you know, I would recommend it. I'd probably give this model a solid 7 out of 10. Maybe it deserves a little bit lower, but I think maybe 7 for me is a fair assessment, just because the lack of opening details, you know, just kind of a lack of, I feel like, extra little things that would have made this model really nice. I did forget to show you the interior as well, so if you're still here, let me quickly show you that. So just one red bucket seat. You can't really see too much through there, I will say. It's just really cramped in there, and it just looks really undescript, but you can make out that red bucket seat. So the interior, not amazing, I would say. No real insane details to really point out in there that I can even see. So that maybe that's another reason why you wouldn't want to get this model. I know a lot of folks don't like the fully sealed models, but you know, like I said, 50 bucks, this is all you could want, I think, for just a really nice looking model. The glass, I think, will hold up pretty well over time. It seems like a stronger plastic material. It might yellow, I can imagine, but if you just take care of it, this model will serve you well, I think. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you guys think this is a cool model, like I'm quickly realizing I think it is. So yeah, I appreciate it. We're almost at 200 subscribers, and when we hit there, I'm going to do a full collection video and breaking down each model I have. So if you guys want to see that, just get me there and we'll make it happen. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and also enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.